She thought confessing to the affair would be the hardest part. But when Dr. Phil read the second page of that DNA report, the page with the genetic markers no one was supposed to see, the truth didn't just destroy her marriage. It exposed what really happened the night her husband's brother died, and why she'd been paying a stranger $800 every month for the past decade. Marcus Chun sat in the stage chair like he was waiting for a sentencing. His leg bounced against the floor. You could hear it echoing through the studio. Across from him, his wife Rachel gripped the armrest so hard her knuckles had gone bone white. Dr. Phil held the manila envelope in both hands. He didn't open it yet. Marcus, Dr. Phil said, "Before we do this, I need you to understand. Just open it." Marcus's voice cracked. "I've waited 6 months for this. Just please." Rachel's breathing had gone shallow. Her eyes fixed on that envelope like it was a loaded gun. Dr. Phil broke the seal. The sound cut through the silence. He pulled out 2 pages stapled together. His eyes scanned the first page, then the second, then back to the second. His jaw tightened. "We need to—" Dr. Phil stopped, looked at Rachel. Something in his expression changed. "Rachel, there's information here that goes beyond the paternity results." "What are you talking about?" Marcus leaned forward. "Is Lily mine or not?" Dr. Phil's finger traced down the second page. "She's yours. Biologically, Lily is your daughter." Marcus's whole body exhaled. His hands went to his face. "Oh, thank God. Thank. But there's a genetic marker flagged here." Dr. Phil's voice dropped. A familial match that shouldn't exist. The air in the room changed. Rachel stood up. I can't." "Sit down, Rachel." Dr. Phil didn't look away from the paper. "You know what this says, don't you?" "Please." Her voice barely a whisper. "Please don't." "The test shows a secondary genetic contributor," Dr. Phil said. "Not from you, Marcus. From someone who shares 50% of your DNA. A sibling." Marcus froze. "I don't have a—" He stopped. His face went gray. No, that's not possible. Your brother Jake," Dr. Phil said quietly, "who died 17 years ago." The studio went dead silent. "He's been dead since 2008. Marcus's voice came out strangled. "This doesn't make any sense. Rachel never even—" They barely knew each other. Rachel was crying now, but no sound came out. Just tears streaming down her face, her whole body shaking. Dr. Phil leaned forward. "Rachel, I think you need to tell him what happened. Because this report is telling us that Jake was also Lily's biological father. Which means we were both there." The words burst out of Rachel like she'd been holding them underwater. "That night. The night he died. We were both there." Marcus stood up so fast his chair rolled backward. "What are you saying?" "You told me. Everyone said Jake fell. He was drunk. He fell down the stairs at that party." "He didn't fall, Marcus." Rachel's hands were shaking. "I was there when it happened. And it wasn't an accident." "Start from the beginning," Dr. Phil said. "And Rachel, no more hiding." Rachel wiped her face with trembling hands. "It was your company Christmas party. December 2008. You had the flu. You stayed home. Jake said he'd give me a ride since you couldn't make it." Marcus was pacing now, his hands in his hair. "You never told me Jake drove you. Because of what happened after." Rachel's voice steadied, but her hands didn't. "The party was at someone's house in the hills. Big place, lots of alcohol. Jake was drinking, more than usual. He kept staying close to me. Too close." "What does that mean?" Marcus stopped pacing. Rachel looked at the floor. "Around midnight, I went upstairs to use the bathroom. Jake followed me. Her voice broke. "He pushed his way in, locked the door." The audience murmur died instantly. "He assaulted you?" Dr. Phil's voice went soft. Rachel nodded. "When it was over, he just walked out, like nothing happened. I stayed in that bathroom for 20 minutes, trying to figure out what to do. Your brother, your little brother who you protected your whole life." Marcus's breathing had gone ragged. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I was terrified." Rachel's eyes finally met his. "You worshipped him, Marcus. He was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. And I was your girlfriend of 8 months. Who would you have believed? If someone you loved was assaulted by your family member, would you want to know? Or would the truth destroy everything?" Keep watching, because what happened next is even worse than what she just admitted. I finally left the bathroom, Rachel continued. Went downstairs to find my purse, to call a cab. But Jake was there, in the kitchen, laughing with people like nothing had happened. Her hands clenched into fists. He saw me, smiled at me, this casual little smile, and something inside me just snapped. Dr. Phil's eyes narrowed. What did you do, Rachel? I confronted him, right there in the hallway near the stairs. Told him I was going to tell you everything, that he was a monster and everyone needed to know. Marcus's voice came out hollow, and he laughed, said no one would believe me, that I'd been drinking too, that I'd probably wanted it. Rachel's face hardened. So I told him I had something else to tell you, something that would definitely make you believe me. What? Marcus whispered. I told him I'd taken a morning after pill from your bathroom cabinet 3 weeks earlier, after we'd had sex without protection. Rachel's words came faster now. I told him I kept the wrapper, that I could prove the timeline, that you'd know something had happened because I'd been acting different. Dr. Phil held up his hand. But Jake didn't know that the morning after pill was from when Marcus and I had a scare, not from that night. Rachel's voice cracked. I lied to Jake, to scare him, to make him understand there would be consequences. The studio had gone completely silent. You could hear the ventilation system humming. What did he do? Marcus's voice barely audible. Rachel's face crumpled. He backed away from me, kept backing up, said I was crazy, said he'd tell everyone I was trying to trap you with a fake pregnancy. He got louder, more aggressive. She stopped, covered her mouth. Rachel, Dr. Phil's voice cut through. What happened at the top of those stairs? He was drunk, stumbling, backing away from me. And Rachel looked directly at Marcus for the first time. I didn't push him. I swear to God I didn't push him. But I didn't stop him either. He fell backward. Rachel's voice had gone flat, emotionless. 17 stairs. I watched every single one. People heard the sound and came running. I started screaming, acting like I just walked up and found him. Everyone was so drunk, so panicked. No one questioned it. Marcus sat back down slowly. His face had no expression at all. The autopsy said accidental death, Dr. Phil said, reading something on his phone. Blunt force trauma consistent with a fall. Blood alcohol level at 0.19. I killed him. Rachel's words hung in the air. Maybe not with my hands, but I killed him with my words. I scared him into backing up, into falling. But that's not why you've been paying someone $800 a month for 10 years, is it? Dr. Phil pulled out another paper. Because we did some research, Rachel. You've been sending payments to a Lawrence Mitchell in Riverside. Who is that? Rachel's face went even paler. How did you? Who is Lawrence Mitchell? He was at the party. Rachel's voice barely a whisper now. He was in the hallway, behind me. He saw the whole thing, Jake backing up, me not moving to help, all of it. Marcus made a sound like he'd been punched. He approached me 3 weeks after the funeral, Rachel continued. Said he'd been drinking that night, but he remembered. Said he wouldn't go to the police if I made it worth his silence. Started at $500 a month. Went up to $800 2 years ago. You've paid him nearly $90,000, Dr. Phil said. I didn't have a choice. If Marcus found out what I'd done. But you still married him. Marcus's voice came out raw. 6 months after Jake died. You married me knowing what you'd done to my brother. Because I loved you. Rachel was sobbing now. And because I found out I was pregnant. Actually pregnant. With Lily. Dr. Phil set down the papers. Here's what the genetic markers are actually telling us. The lab ran an extended panel because of your family history of genetic disorders. Marcus. That's standard protocol. And they found something unusual. He looked at Rachel. Lily has genetic markers from 2 different men, which is medically possible in rare cases called heteropaternal superfecundation. Twins conceived from 2 different fathers during the same ovulation cycle. Marcus's head snapped up. What are you saying? Rachel was pregnant with twins, Dr. Phil said quietly. One was Marcus's. One was Jake's. She carried both pregnancies until I lost one at 12 weeks. Rachel's voice broke. I was bleeding. Went to the emergency room. They told me it was called vanishing twin syndrome. One fetus was reabsorbed. The other, Lily, she survived. The studio was completely silent. You've known this entire time, Marcus said. That Lily could have been I knew there was a chance. A small chance. The doctor said the surviving twin was most likely yours because of how the pregnancy developed. But I didn't know for sure until today. Rachel looked at the envelope. That's why I agreed to the test. Not just to prove she was yours, but to finally know if Jake was still here. In some way. Dr. Phil leaned back. Marcus, I need to ask you something. How does this change things for you? Knowing that your daughter is biologically yours. Knowing what happened to your brother. Knowing your wife has been carrying this secret for 17 years. Marcus stared at his hands. At his wedding ring. For 15 seconds, no one moved. I don't know, Marcus finally said. I don't know anything anymore. He looked at Rachel. Really looked at her. Jake was drunk. Aggressive. You said he kept getting louder. Was he threatening you? Rachel nodded slowly. He was yelling, saying I'd regret trying to ruin his life. He was moving toward me. And you stood your ground. Yes. And he backed up and fell. Yes. Marcus's jaw worked. My brother, his voice cracked. My brother assaulted you. At a Christmas party while I was homesick. And then he fell down the stairs because you told him there would be consequences. Dr. Phil remained quiet, letting it sit. You should have told me, Marcus said. That night. The next day. At the funeral. Before we got married. Before Lily was born. You should have told me. I know, but you didn't. Because you were scared I wouldn't believe you. Marcus stood up. Were you right? Back then, if you'd told me, would I have believed you over Jake? Rachel met his eyes. Honestly? I don't know. That's what terrified me most. Not knowing. Marcus walked to the edge of the stage. Stopped. His shoulders shook. When he turned back around, his face was wet. The night Jake died, I got a call at 2 a.m. Police said there'd been an accident. I drove to the hospital. Sat there for 6 hours while they told me my little brother was gone. He wiped his face roughly. And you were there. You sat with me the whole time. Held my hand while I cried. Helped me plan his funeral. I'm sorry, Rachel whispered. I'm so sorry. Were you guilty? Marcus asked. Or were you relieved? Rachel's breath caught. Both. God help me both. Dr. Phil folded his hands. We brought you both back today because I wanted to see where things stood. Marcus, you asked for time. You've had 6 weeks. Where are you? Marcus looked different. Older somehow. I've been in therapy. Individual and couple sessions with Rachel. We've talked about everything. Things I didn't even know I needed to talk about. And Lily, Dr. Phil asked. She knows mom and dad are working through some hard stuff. She doesn't know the details. She's 7. She doesn't need that weight. Marcus glanced at Rachel. But we're both showing up for her. Every day. What about Jake? Dr. Phil pressed. Have you made peace with what happened? Marcus's face tightened. No, maybe I never will. But I did something I should have done years ago. I asked my mom about Jake. Really asked. Not just remember the golden child version. He paused. She told me things. About times when Jake was younger. Things he did to girls in high school that got covered up because my dad was the football coach. A girl who transferred schools senior year. How my mom had to pay for something she never told me about. Rachel looked up, surprise on her face. My brother wasn't who I thought he was, Marcus said quietly. And maybe that's the hardest part. Realizing I chose a version of him that didn't exist over the woman sitting right in front of me who was telling the truth. Dr. Phil nodded slowly. Rachel, you've been paying Lawrence Mitchell for 10 years. What's the status of that? We went to the police, Rachel said. 2 weeks ago. Told them everything. They're investigating him for extortion. And your role in Jake's death? They reviewed the original case file. The autopsy. Witness statements. Rachel's voice stayed steady. The detective said that even if I'd been arguing with Jake, his intoxication level and the physical evidence showed an accidental fall. They're not pursuing charges. But you still carry the guilt, Dr. Phil said. Every day, every single day, I wake up and wonder if I could have grabbed him, if I could have done something different. Rachel looked at Marcus. And every day I'm grateful I didn't lose him too. Dr. Phil pulled out his phone and held it up. Rachel sent me this yesterday. Marcus, do you want to tell everyone what this is? Marcus took the phone. A small smile appeared on his face. Lily's soccer game. Last Saturday. Rachel took the photo. The image showed a little girl mid-kick, her face fierce with concentration. But in the background, you could see Marcus and Rachel sitting together on the bleachers. Not touching, but together. "We're not there yet," Marcus said, handing the phone back. "I don't know if we'll ever be completely there, but we're trying. For Lily. And maybe," he looked at Rachel, "maybe for us." Dr. Phil leaned forward. "I'm going to ask you something hard, Marcus. When you look at Lily now, knowing what you know about how she was conceived, about her twin that didn't survive, about all of it, does it change how you see her?" Marcus's eyes went bright. "Not for 1 second. She's my daughter. She's always been my daughter. The DNA test just confirmed what I already knew in my heart." He paused, but also gave me something else. The truth. Finally, even though the truth almost destroyed everything, the lie already was destroying everything. We just couldn't see it yet. Dr. Phil sat back. "Rachel, last question. If you could go back to that night in 2008, knowing everything you know now, what would you do differently?" Rachel didn't hesitate. "I'd tell Marcus the next morning. Risk losing him right then rather than lose pieces of him every day for 17 years. She wiped her eyes. "And I call the police about Jake. Not just for me, but for whoever else he might have hurt if he'd lived." Here's the question I want you to answer. If your partner was assaulted by your family member, would you want them to tell you immediately, even if it destroyed your family? Or would you understand why they stayed silent? There's no easy answer here. That's what makes this so devastating. Drop your honest answer below. And if you want to see what happened when a mother discovers her daughter's husband isn't who he claimed to be, that story is even more twisted than this one. Watch it next.